Hello, everybody. How's everybody going? Day so far. We are officially live for the Arena podcast. Hello, I am one of your hosts, Sir Random Guy. Uh, I'll be taking over at the moment. Meanwhile, Thomas will be coming here shortly. Just if anything, go follow our social media accounts. But Danny will now be called Logan. Logan will not be here today. Just he has some things going on today, but for right now, we are going to be starting in a minute. But speaking of which, Thomas is officially here right now. Welcome to our other co-host of the Arena podcast, Thomas. Hello, man. How you doing today?
Doing well. Dude, it was a complete pain to get things working.
All right, but at least you're here now. That's the most important part. Well, we're here now at the Arena Podcast. Well, today, if y'all see the description, if you see the our title today will be our official Week One pick'ems or predictions. We're gonna see how well we do this week. But if anything, today but that's pretty much it. But so we're also gonna do today before we started pick'ems is we're gonna name our three people, whether it's a player, coach, GM, whoever, who has the most pressure coming up for the 2024 season. But yeah, and we'll start with but anyway, Thomas, you have anything to add before we get started?
No?
No.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I am still thinking whether or not we should let the fans decide, or let the fans here or upcoming fans who put in our pick'em league. Should we are we considering about that or not yet?
We can, even though we don't
We can.
hardly have any fans.
Hey, for the people who are watching here, why not? But
Yeah,
anyways, um, so we'll start with our segment. We were going to do that last week, but we just had a lot of time focused on our season predictions. So now we'll start with this segment here today. Who do you think has the most pressure, or who are like some of the people believe who has the most pressure going into this 2024 NFL season?
one person who does have a lot of pressure going into this NFL season, I will say Bryce Young. Even though he was kind of in a bad situation
Ooh.
last season, he was also the first overall pick, and he got outshined by most of the guys in his draft class. And if he can't
Ooh.
take the next step forward this season while having everybody else in his draft class potentially taking the next step forward, he might be considered maybe not like bust per se, but would he still be that close cut first overall pick guy, or would it be weighing on his shoulders, whatever?
Hmm. Very valid. I mean, this is gonna be a crucial year, especially Dave Canales is now the new head coach for the Carolina Panthers. Hopefully, he could build somewhat Bryce Young's confidence up a bit after a abysmal rookie season. So you out there, one of the people I have, and I think it's a pretty basic answer, pretty obvious answer of all time, is Dennis Allen going into this season. Even though he did have a winning record this past season, it just looked like the Saints were very inconsistent, looked very fraudulent in some games. Derek Carr didn't look like the guy they New Orleans expected him to be. But I mean, the Saints team, I mean, they're very. It just doesn't look like they're the greatest team, but not look like the worst team out there. So very well in the middle, very mid for the most part. But you know, I feel like this is kind of it for Dennis, especially how the NFC South is kind of building up for what is to be. You have the Falcons with Kirk Cousins and that potent offense. You have the Buccaneers who are trying to win their division title for the fourth year in a row with Baker Mayfield for the second time. So we'll see how it goes for him. But Yeah, another player I think probably has some very good amount of pressure going to the season. It's most and this one's not only impacting um for free agency, but his career and status is well Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
This man got paid 40 million. This man's getting paid at an average on 40 million per season, and pretty much the Giants were very close in considering trading up to get Drake May. If you have seen that episode, if you've seen Hard Knocks with the New York Giants this past summer, and pretty much it's looking like it's kind of the hitting the wall for Daniel Jones if nothing's really going to work for this season. Not only is probably not going to affect probably Daniel Jones, is also going to affect Brian Dayball's career, Brian Dayball coaching career as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah. Any other people you think of, or people in
Deshaun
the comments
Watson.
down below? Wait, who?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, yes, but I think
And he
it's
getting
more the
paid.
fact that it's
You
probably Cleveland's pressure's more with Cleveland than with Deshaun because they're now going to pay him 26 this season and then 72 for the next two more seasons with the current restructure.
Yeah, I mean, well, he was also the Browns gave up so much to get him, and the fact that I mean, he was injured for a couple seasons, but like this should be the one season where there should be no excuses. If he doesn't play well, he is like cooked. He's washed, and he wouldn't be worth the $72 million that he's gonna be given for next season, the season after.
Yeah. But and then I think another one is going to be another head coach. I mean, two head coaches coming to mind right now is Matt Eberflus because after two rough seasons, even though he did improve, but it's kind of like either the Bears need to have a winning record or at least make the playoffs. Pretty much, they're relying on Kate. Pretty much hoping that Caleb Williams is the guy going into immediately year one, instead of just a rookie being a rookie. Is just kind of like if Caleb Williams does not at least look like a superstar after the season, then it's going to be rough for Eberflus. But I mean, I'm kind of liking the process for what the Bears are holding, but and I do trust Matt Eberflus as a defensive guy, but offensive guy, especially with Shane Waldron at the realm, we will left to be desired at the moment. But another one is, playoff team, considered a playoff contender every year for the past few years is, head coach for the Buffalo Bills, Sean McDermott. But yeah, it's Sean McDermott's been a guy that's although he's been winning for the Bills and he brought greatness for the Bills for greatness for a very long time, especially winning division titles for years. But it's looking like it's kind of been like, what are we doing? We haven't really done much. We've been kind of stuck on this second gear. We need to push it to overdrive and it feels like if McDermott cannot pull it out, especially what the Bills roster is right now at the moment, which I am liking the process, which is, getting younger right now. So their team could be stronger in the future. But if looks like if the Bills kind of have this somewhat more of a down year, then I think it's probably going to be, or don't at least beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, then it's probably the nails kind of hitting the turn on Mr. McDermott there. But we have a comment already from Anthony.
Yeah,
Chicago season may very well come down to if they can be Green Bay or not. That is true because
one
again,
hundred
they
percent.
have not been the Green Bay Packers since the 2018 season where they went 12-4 and lost in the wild card round against the Eagles. Uh, but we'll kind of leave it to the side because I know if there's any Bears fans listening to this, they don't want to be reminded. But anyways, can this be the same for Green Bay? Hopefully, but that's kind of it. But Thomas, any other players or people you could think of?
Uh, don't think so. I just, I mean, maybe Tua getting paid that massive amount of money,
Hmm.
even though he hasn't won a playoff game yet in his career, and come December he doesn't always play very well. He might be under pressure for getting massive QB1 money. If I'm not saying that, I'm not saying Tua doesn't deserve that money when he 100% does, but if he continues to play as well as he's playing right now, would this contract be worth it to the Dolphins?
That is true. That is true. I mean, Tua is right now still a solid quarterback for the most part, but I think it's just now whether or not only that can the entire team also stay healthy because last season the Dolphins did face some big injuries like Jalen Phillips, like Bradley Chubb. So I mean, so this is not only just a Tua thing; it's more also a team thing overall. Can Mike Me- can Mike McDaniel, despite him getting extended this past week, he it's also going to be some pressure on him whether or not he could lead this team to at least a playoff win in the first time in 20 probably going to be 24 years by the time this regular season ends if the
Yeah,
Dolphins make the playoffs. But anyways, we shall get started with our week one pickums. It's gonna be week one. It's always gonna be the most weirdest week because everyone's starting off fresh. Mostly everyone is healthy unless you're the Vikings. But week one is always going to be a fun week either way. NFL football's back. We just wrapped up another week of college football this past week, and but we're now finally in NFL kickoff, and I'm gonna start sharing the screen in a minute. This is going to be kind of the setup for right now until we finally find a better a better system. But Lightning Junior, what is up, man? How you doing?
how's it going,
Oh,
Lightning?
this is we're live finally for the first time ever. All right, and here we are, our week one predictions. Thomas, do you see them?
Yes, I do.
Alrighty, cool. All right. So this is how we're gonna do it. We have the list of games here below, and I'm just gonna highlight who we're gonna pick this week. Since Danny, or now he wants to be now called Logan. Um, Logan. But anyways, we're pretty much this is where we're gonna highlight our picks. We will announce Logan's pick as well after Thomas and I will talk about each other's picks. But we will start with week one. Thursday night football, the NFL opening kickoff between the Baltimore Ravens going against the back-to-back Super Bowl champs Kansas City Chiefs. Ooh, this is gonna be a fun one here. This is a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game in Baltimore, and the Ravens couldn't come up clutch at the very end here. They just kind of it just kind of went flat towards that second half, and then of course Zay Flowers messed up that little fumble when he decided to dive for it, and everything just kind of went downhill right afterwards. What do you think? What is on the line here tonight for Week One?
I think it'll be mostly, can the Ravens defense hold up from losing Mike McDonald as their head coach and losing some defensive weapons while the Chiefs offense got stronger. And then also a little bit of vice versa with the Ravens offense getting stronger. Can the Chiefs defense hold up? Like, this could be either be very high scoring, a really good opening game, or it could be low scoring, very defensive game where it comes down to a last second field goal.
Yep, and the Ravens brought in a certain king that he this king is familiar with the Chiefs defense before and has destroyed them, but this Chiefs defense is not the old. It's has gotten better. They still have Chris Jones. They have Trent McDuffie, who's only going to get better. They have all these defensive weapons. The only player they probably are going to lose, they did lose this past season, was L'Jarius Sneed to the Tennessee Titans. But hey, this is going to be a fun matchup. I cannot wait to see what things occur. But this is going to be one of the best games of this week so far. A great way to kick off the NFL 2024 season. And for my first pick, I will have the Kansas City Chiefs for the win. I know pretty obvious pretty obvious pick, but oh, all right, reset. All right. Anyways, pretty obvious pick. I know, but I mean, I think the Chiefs are going to learn from last time. I think they gotten better, they gotten stronger. I know they don't have. I know they're not going to have Marquise Brown for this week due to injury, but I think this Chiefs team is still strong. They drafted Xavier Worthy from this past draft in the first round. They brought in Juju Smith-Schuster just to kind of help the wide receiver core, and they are familiar with them. So we cannot wait to see what happens. But Thomas, who do you have for this week?
I have the Ravens getting the upset.
Oh, again, really, I did the same. Anyways, all right, Ravens. That is an interesting pick. Wow, this is I mean, it's probably going to be a 50-50 game, but ESPN it looks like it's the Chiefs. A lot of people are picking more of the Chiefs this week, but if the Ravens somehow come out on top, Thomas may take this lead this week. Who knows? But with Logan, with his pick, he is also going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs for this week's pick'ems. Um, no reason why. Is just he just believes the Chiefs are going to win. But moving forward, we are going to have our first international game of the season already this early on Friday night on Peacock. So, you guys, if you have a Peacock subscription, unfortunately, we're going to have to subscribe and watch this game unless, you want to hoist the seven seas and yo ho ho with the bottle of rum. But but we have, and not only is this not our first international game, this is the first Brazil game going to Sao Paulo. After a whole controversy of not wearing green, the Packers are still going to wear green this game, and the Eagles are going to wear a black helmet with their white jersey with, obviously, well, they still technically are wearing green up with their number font, but hey, it is what it is. But the Packers and Eagles, this is going to be a fun game. Thomas, what are your thoughts going into this Brazil game?
I had the Packers winning this game.
Ooh.
I think without Joe Barry at the defensive coordinator, the defense will be a lot better, and we don't know what to think of the new Eagles coordinators thus far. Whereas, yes, we have seen uh, the Eagles defensive coordinator with the Dolphins, but from what I've heard from Dolphins fans themselves, that he wasn't that great of a coach with the Dolphins. So who knows? But I feel like the Packers have enough firepower to pull an upset here and take down the Eagles.
Interesting. All right. Well, with this game, you have the Eagles, who, again, Thomas has mentioned, they brought themselves new coordinators after what an abysmal thing. This is kind of more a pressure. Oh, I guess another guy who's going to be on the pressure is Nick Sirianni as well. And with the Eagles, they brought in offensive coordinator Kellen Moore from the LA Chargers, who was from the Dallas Cowboys, and then they brought in Vic Fangio which hopefully he could be the answer to the Eagles defense. And they kind of revamped that secondary, bringing in Quinion Mitchell from drafting Quinion Mitchell from this year's draft, and also drafting Cooper DeJean in the second round. They brought in Gardner, not Sauce Gardner,
I wish.
Chauncey Gardner Johnson to the Eagles roster, and hopefully that could help that Eagles secondary out. Their defensive line should get better, and I think the Eagles they kind of they are in this. We need to win this game to kind of prove ourselves that the collapse was just a one-time thing, and that's why I'm going to pick the Eagles for this week. I think it should be a fun game, though. So again, watch it on Peacock or watch it somehow. But yeah, and then with Logan, he is going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles as well for this week. We're just going with this pick'ems, but now we're here for the Sunday games with a very interesting one. We have Steelers Falcons. Arthur Smith is going up against his former team that he coached from the last 3 seasons. You know, with finishing the record of 21-30. He stays consistent with that 7-10 records. But now with the Falcons, they got themselves a new head coach in Raheem Morris. Hopefully that he could be the solution for this team. That everyone's hyped on the Falcons. I'm hyped on this Falcons. Bringing in Kirk Cousins. Hopefully that Achilles tear did not mess him up, and hopefully that offense is the thing that people believe they want to be. The defense is still questionable, even though they do have Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell. They brought in Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons. Hopefully the defense is a little bit better, but still question on the pass rush. But hey, this game should be a fun one. The Steelers, they brought in Russell Wilson, with signing him to a vet minimum because the Broncos are paying him the rest of his contract. And, they're kind of hoping that he could kind of bring that little resurgence, bringing that little Seattle action. If not, then you still have Justin Fields. Hopefully his career revives as well. So, but Thomas, what do you got for this game? What do you think for your preview?
Before we do that, I have to say one thing. I was unaware that the Packers are going to be flying back and playing Monday Night Football against the Niners.
Uh, Wait, when is that? Week 2 or?
No. Look on the spreadsheet.
Oh, I think the Aaron Rodgers effect is there. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you for pointing that out, Thomas.
You're welcome.
We're going. Wait, and even then, the Jets are even the road team for this game. Hold up.
Oh,
I
good
gotta
God.
change this. All right. My bad, everybody. We'll get to that game in a minute. I don't know why I was thinking 49ers Packers, but apparently I was. So silly me.
Week 1 hangover.
I guess so. Before we even happen. All right, but
Exactly.
Thomas, Steelers Falcons. What do you got?
I have the Falcons taking this game.
Ooh.
I believe with Kirk Cousins coming coming off Achilles tear, there is some fear within that, but I don't think I don't really trust Russell Wilson to go up against one of like a really strong defense like this, especially because he's not as good as he once was, and uh, even even if the Steelers somehow some way choke this game, it'll all just be because of
It's a week 1.
no wait, no, my bad. No, if the Steelers do somehow win this game, though, it'll just be because of Arthur Smith's revenge game. But I don't see that happening. I just see him blowing this game.
Yeah.
I don't see
All
him
right.
doing anything.
Yeah. All right. So with my pick, I am going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's this is a Kirk Cousins versus Russell Wilson match. This is the first time they meet each other since the 2000 and well, I'd say no, the 2021 season. They could have met in 2023, but obviously Kirk Cousins got injured, and that was the Josh Dobbs legacy game, right? Uh, right there. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But I think for some reason the Steelers, like, they're always the weirdest team to gauge, and like I think like what I'm thinking is just because like the Falcons, like they're a team that everyone's hyping on, and I just feel like it's just gonna be those weird weeks where I just like think the Steelers just pull the upset, even though it's in Atlanta. But I don't know. It's just a weird feeling. I'm going with the Steelers. I think Mike Tomlin just has like some magic in him. Like I feel like Russell Wilson may have like some weird game-winning drive where they win by a game-winning kick. That's how I see it. And with Logan over here, he is also going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers as well for this week. I'm kind of shocked. Wow, I guess Logan and I are thinking the same thing for the most part. Thomas is going the other direction.
I can't wait for me to be right 3 in a row and just clown both of you.
We shall see. We shall see what happens. But next game, this one's an interesting one. They met 4 years ago. This was the Hail Murray game where Kyler Murray threw that Hail Mary to DeAndre Hopkins for the game-winning touchdowns against the Buffalo Bills, and now they're here. The Cardinals, they're a team that's, they're getting better. They are still in their rebuild, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals would put up a competition against the Buffalo Bills this week. They brought in, Marvin Harrison Jr. got drafted. Hopefully he will bring an immediate impact to the Cardinals this season. Zay Jones will be out for these next 5 games because he got suspended. But they still have some pieces like Trey McBride. Hopefully, Paris Johnson kind of builds up in his second year as an offensive tackle. Defense is a little bit questionable, and I think their first round defensive guy got injured during training camp, if I recall. But I am going to go with the Buffalo Bills. If that's home, I think the Bills are gonna try to do something with this team, and I feel like they're gonna I feel like they would want to try to destroy the Cardinals, but I feel like it's going to be a closer game than what people are expecting. Thomas, what are your thoughts for this game? Cardinals and Bills.
Bills' defense is as good as anymore. The Cardinals' offense just got way better with Mark Harrison Jr. at the helm. Plus, they also now have James Conner. The Cardinals' defense should hold the Bills' offense. On paper, the Bills should win this game, but if you really look into it, the Cardinals potentially will pull an upset. But I don't see it happening. The Bills are going to win this game.
All right. I thought you were doing something there. It looked like you're going, and I wouldn't blame you. Like the Cardinals, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals win this game because it's week 1 and it's just like a weird week to do it. And I feel like as those games where like the Bills think they should have the win, but like the Cardinals somehow pull an upset. Like I expect this one to be a shootout for some reason. I don't know why. I just think it's gonna be like a shootout, especially with the Bills defense being a little bit more younger. So I could see this one being a high scoring game. And then with Logan. He is going to pick the Bills as well. All right, this is our first universal pick. This is our pick for guaranteed. Our guaranteed pick right here. That the Bills will win this game. And watch the Cardinals win somehow. All right, here we go. Titans. All right, here we go. Titans and the Bears. This is the Caleb Williams debut game. A lot of Bears fans are excited. They were excited like this in week 1 last year, and then they obviously got destroyed by the Green Bay Packers. But this time they're hoping that Caleb Williams should go in, take down the Tennessee Titans at Soldier Field. A lot of Bears fans are just hype about this game, especially now having not only Caleb Williams, they brought in Keenan Allen to be a veteran on the field. They drafted Roma Dunze and with their second first round pick. And, then this defense has gone better. They have Montez Sweat, and hopefully he's going to be a wrecking machine with there. They have TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, Jalen Johnson, to hopefully become like one of the better defenses this upcoming season. So, but I am going to pick the Chicago Bears. I feel like this is going to be a game where the Bears, I feel like it's going to be closer. I think Will Levis and the Titans are going to put up a fight because the Titans, again, they brought in some offensive weapons this past season. They brought in Calvin Ridley, which hopefully he's going to have a better season than he did in Jacksonville. And then they brought in Tyler Boyd. I know these are pieces that are kind of older, but I mean, it's still a little bit better from last season, what they had. So hopefully this team is, I feel like this team is going to be competitive this year. And they not only that, they did bring in L'Jarius Sneed as to help boost that defense. They brought in Quandre Diggs, a great veteran. If yes, us as Seahawks fan know that he is a player to cherish in Seattle during his tenure there. And then they brought in Jamal Adams, and we'll stop from there. But I will pick the Chicago Bears for the win. All right, Thomas, who do you have here?
I have the Titans winning this game. I trust the Titans offense to go
Wait.
to
Sorry, you kind
beat
of cut off
this
there.
Bears
What you said?
defense. Oh,
You
I
cut off
have the
there for a
Titans winning this
second.
game.
What?
Uh,
Oh, continue.
how's the mic now?
Good, better.
Okay, bet.
Time.
The Titans, the offense should be good, even though they don't have King Henry. Getting Tony Pollard was in a way like big help with the offense. I do trust the mailman. I do think D Hop will perform well. Calvin Ridley, that'll be a nice 1-2 combo. The defense massively improves, getting L'Jarius Sneed off of the Chiefs, which is huge. They signed Quandre Diggs in the offseason, which was fantastic. And then they signed somebody who shouldn't even touch a football field anymore of his life. But if I'm lucky, he would never ever play well again. So yeah,
Yeah.
Titans are winning.
All right. Thomas with another upset of the week. All right, man. See you later, Lightning.
Yeah,
I was just trying to look at the comments. But anyways, we have and then Logan, he is going to pick the Chicago Bears this week as
Oh,
well.
good God.
Wow. Dude, Logan and I are basically picking the same team, essentially. I don't know when it's going to stop. Well, I kind of do, but we'll just leave it. Well, we're going to leave that surprise. Up next, we have the Patriots. We have this game. We have
God damn it.
What?
Nothing. Go on.
Up next, we have a game this week. Patriots and the Bengals. The Bengals, coming up from Joe Burrow coming up from a season-ending injury with his what was it, his wrist, if I remember.
Yes.
And
It was
the Bengals did finish the season 9-8, but they were still last. They went last in division despite going 9-8, surprisingly. And everyone's kind of hoping, hey, with Joe Burrow coming back, this Bengals team is going to be on fire again. Their defense is kind of going to be a little bit iffy. They did lose DJ Reader to the Detroit Lions, just to name an example. And Trey Henderson definitely wants a contract coming up. But they did pay Amanda's offseason. That was Evan McPherson. That man got his bag. Let's go. But pretty much for the most part, this team should be but we've seen this Bengals team go slow from the past 2 seasons. They have a slow start for some whatever reason. But they'll eventually become that Bengals team we all suspect them to be, that playoff team and everything. And then you have the Patriots. Oh boy, what an off season for the New England Patriots. They don't. Bill Belichick is no longer there, which I am kind of excited in a way. Where it's just like we're seeing something. We're going to see something different in New England. Gerard Mayo, I'm kind of somewhat happy to see how he goes for his first game as a Patriot as well. Just because it's first year head coaches. We're kind of want to see how he does. Obviously, hopefully the AFC East doesn't want the Patriots to succeed for at least for the next like decade or so. But um, but anyways, the Patriots are going to be in this immense rebuild for sure. They did draft Drake May, hopefully to be the feature quarterback, but Jacoby Brissett will start week one. Let Drake May be like learn from the field. I know a lot of people are wanting Drake May to start, but hey, think about it. You would rather at least let someone, a bridge quarterback, to at least kind of start a few games, kind of at least show around the ropes, at least so instead of throw at least so your future quarterback doesn't get thrown out, especially with the offensive line, is just kind of going to be rough. But with this, I'm going with the New England Patriots for my upset of the week here. I know it's wild. It's wild. I know everyone's going to call me crazy, insane, knowing why. I just think the Bengals are going to be slow. And I think with the loss of offensive coordinator Brian Callahan, I think this is going to be the most weirdest week. And I feel like the Patriots are going to take care of the Bengals just by a smidge in a low scoring affair, 17-14. Give me the Patriots. All right, Thomas. Here we go. What do you got?
You are smoking something, bro. What do you got? 'Cause I want some. God
Anthony's
damn,
like, whoa.
bro, it's
Okay,
just
I
like
feel like I just feel like when I knew they were gonna start Jacoby Brissett week one, like since they like signed him, even though they were gonna draft Drake May or Jaden Daniels or wherever they were gonna get at that time, and I was just like, I just know for some random reason the Patriots are gonna pull this upset, like when the schedule came out. I don't know why. It's just some weird gut feeling. But yeah, go ahead, Thomas.
are you hanging out with like Larry Tunsil like now? Like, are you all
No,
are you
no,
all just
no,
out there like
no.
collecting bongs? What's going on?
No. I'm not. I'm not hanging on Larry Tunsil or hanging with
Most
Bill
tragic
O'Brien.
time. Let's see if it plays off. Exactly,
all
Anthony. It's gonna tell me the Bengals win this game. Like, do I have to
right, all
explain
right.
myself? Like, I'm not crazy. I'm sober. Like, my guy. I don't know. Again, I don't know what you're on, but I really want some.
if I
Cause
get
like,
this, if I get this correct, call me Nostradamus. You have to call me Nostradamus for this week, next week.
if you get this correct, I will not be on. I will not be on the show next week.
Oh,
I
come
will be
on.
gone. I'll be gone. I'll be on vacation.
All right, fine. Whatever. Anyways, we're
God
at the Bengals. I feel like no need explanation. I
no.
just I
God damn, bro.
all right, and Danny's also gonna pick the Patriots. Just kidding. He's picking the Bengals. He's picking the
I was
Bengals.
gonna say, okay. By that
Like,
logic, I
l-
need I need brand new co-hosts now.
all
God damn.
right. Logan. I mean, he's picking the Bengals. This is where the streak ends with our agreements here. But now let's start with our next game, and that is it's gonna be a fun one. Battle of the second year quarterbacks. The Houston Texans going against the Colts. The Texans shocked pretty much the entire NFL world last season, where CJ Stroud just essentially just became rookie of the year, essentially just became the savior for the Texans franchise. Have y'all seen the Texans memes of the Stroud boys and the Strouds and whatever? This is a fun team. This team gotten better. They brought in Joe Mixon, hopefully to boost up the run game. They brought in Stephon Diggs to boosting up that wide receiver core, which was already strong as it is. They had to cut Noah Brown, unfortunately, because it was just the wide receiver room was just a little too much. From there, their defense, they brought in Daniil Hunter, even though they did lose Jonathan Greenard too, well, ironically, to the Minnesota Vikings. And they have second year defensive end Will Anderson to help it, and D'Amico Ryans. He is that defensive minded head coach that I believe in this Texans defense. But you have the Colts, you have Anthony Richardson, which pretty much everyone is kind of have this hype around the Colts. Everyone's kind of in that. Believing that Anthony Richardson is going to be a breakout candidate. They still have Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, Jonathan Taylor. Hopefully, he's still a beast he's still going to be a beast on that offense. And you have defensive players like Zaire Franklin just to boost up that linebacker core. So, but with that, I am going to pick the Colts for this week. They're at home. I just think I do believe this is going to be a fun game, close game there. But I just think it's going to be a game where Anthony Richardson is going to kind of show everyone that he kind of learned from this past season. Try not to be as reckless as much, and hopefully he becomes a decent passer in that game. But I am going to go with the Colts for this week, and it's just mainly because they're at home. All right, Thomas, who do you got?
The Colts haven't won a Week 1 game in how long? The Texans currently own the Colts, and overall, the Texans are a better, well-rounded team. Yes, the Colts kept it very close while having Gardner Minshew. But at the same time, the Texans just massively upgraded at just about almost everywhere. With CJ Stroud walking into a sophomore year, he should be way better. Getting Stephon Diggs will be a massive help with the wide receiver room. And we don't know how well Richardson's going to play coming off of his season-ending injury. So I will be taking the Texans to once again beat the Colts.
All right. Hold on, where are we at? All right, and with Logan, he is going to take the Texans as well. Second, there we go. This is where the disagreements are going to start here. But the Texans, it makes sense. These are going to be a solid team, but I feel like just like this thing also, it's like because with week 18, I just think the Colts have something this fire, especially with Shane Steichen at the realm. I just feel like this is going to be an interesting game. But now moving forward to our next Sunday game, Jaguars and the Dolphins, a Florida Bowl here. We already seen a bunch of Florida Bowls this past. We're already seen a Florida Bowl already with the Miami Hurricanes into Florida, and with Florida, getting destroyed by Miami this past weekend as well. Can, are the Dolphins going to be this team? They have this exciting offense. Early season Dolphins are always a team that has this explosion of an offense. You have Tua and Tyreek connecting. You have Tua and Jalen Waddle. Raheem Mostert is still a solid guy to still have in that run game, but I think Devon Achane is going to be that player is going to eventually take over as that RB1 role. When healthy, of course. And that defense, I think there's going to be some players that are still going to be out because they had that season injury last year. OBJ is going to be out for the four games of the season, so we'll see who they are going to pull. Who are they going to have at wide receiver 3? But they did lose a certain important key piece in that team, and that is Mike White. RIP Mike White. He got
Legend.
cut by the Miami Dolphins this past season, but Skylar Thompson is now going to be the QB2 heading to the season. But with that, I will be going with the Miami Dolphins, Jacksonville's team. This team, they're coming off from a collapse as well from this past last season as well, and I think it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be an interesting year for the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence, with Doug Peterson, with Press Taylor. So this is going to be a year. Hopefully, I feel like this team is going to be decent. This team should be fun to watch. Jaguars should be fun to watch if Trevor Lawrence finally takes that step that everyone's been hoping to see since his rookie season. And their defense still iffy. I mean, they kind of have something going on. They just kind of hope they finally get it together. But I am gonna pick the Miami Dolphins because early season Dolphins are always dominating. But Thomas, go ahead.
The Jaguars, I believe actually are the better, well-rounded team. I mean, maybe
Ooh,
not at receiver because it's very, very hard for anybody to beat the Dolphins receiver room. But I really, really love the Jaguars defense, and they should be holding the Dolphins offense in check. I believe Trevor Lawrence is like a top 5 QB, potentially not a top
top
5, like top
five.
top 7 QB, potentially better than
Ooh.
Tua, potentially better than Tua. Like, God. But like when it comes down to it, I mean, this might be an offensive defensive game. Which team will have the better offense and better defense? The Dolphins defense should be getting better. The Dolphins offense, I mean, it's really hard to improve. Um, the Jaguars offense, I believe they've improved massively. Again, the defense is elite, but God, I believe I'm gonna have to rock with the Miami Dolphins to win this team.
Ah.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it for Danny. Danny's not here. Somebody here has to be the Dolphins fan around here. Got my Dolphins hat. Like the Dolphins are winning this game, and if they don't, well, we'll just never hear the end. The end from Landon. So Dolphins
Oof.
winning this game.
All right, and since Logan is not here today, but yes, he's gonna pick the Dolphins. All right, if I were him, he's gonna say Tua's an elite quarterback. Um, Tyreek is gonna win Offensive Player of the Year. He is a beast. He is. This team is going to destroy the Jaguars defense 35-10 or something like that. But everyone believes on the Dolphins. This is early season Dolphins here. Put your stock on early season Dolphins before December. All right.
Yes.
So, but he believes this team, and we're gonna ride with him. We're gonna ride with the Dolphins this week until they lose to the Jaguars. Then we'll see
Yeah.
going forward.
After that, we are done.
Still in review. It'll be in question.
We are off the bandwagon.
But going to our next game, we have a game. I mean, it's the A game.
Oh God.
Panthers going to New Orleans against the New Orleans Saints.
Never do that again. No. We're
I
done.
don't care.
No, we're done. We're done.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself.
Oh God.
All right, anyways, the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers going in from a rough, and I mean rough season last year. Kind of had some little hope, especially adding Frank Reich. Bringing in Adam Thielen to help in the veteran spot for wide receivers. You thought Miles Sanders was going to be the running back that we kind of expect him to be in Philly, but just things just didn't go off for them. They brought in Dave Canales again, who helped Baker Mayfield, who helped Geno Smith, in his tenures with Seattle and Tampa. And they did lose Brian Burns this past offseason to the New York Giants, which he was that anchor of a defense. Although they still have Derek Brown, they have J.C. Horn, but it's still going to be a weird season for the Carolina Panthers. Hopefully they improve, and that's just kind of the goal for this season. Just improve. Hopefully you're just better than 2-15. And at least you're gonna have a first round pick this offseason, Carolina Panthers. So don't trade it away. And the New Orleans Saints, again, like I mentioned earlier, like when I said Dennis Allen's under pressure, this team is just feels average. This team is kind of they're aging. I mean, they have some decent pieces like Chris Olave, and although Cameron Jordan is still there, but he's getting older. It's just weird with the Saints team. Like, I just don't know what to expect. This game, it feels very low scoring. I feel like it's just going to depend how, like, whoever's has the lead, and there's like a 2-minute drive that someone needs to do a game winner. It's really going to depend on how well they're going to do in that game winning drive. But anyways, I am going to go with the New Orleans Saints here. Okay, I'll stop. With the New Orleans Saints here, they're just kind of the better team, but again, things can happen. It's week 1, but yeah, give me the Saints. All right, Thomas, who you got?
Can this game just be canceled? Like, give them both a tie. Just like nobody show up, please.
Yeah.
Nobody's sane wants to watch this game.
So we just want the meteor, like the Super Bowl 58.
Yeah, just meteor. I mean, I do have the Panthers winning this game because I don't trust Derek Carr at all.
And you're telling me I'm smoking.
You picked the Patriots to beat the Bengals. You can never
I
take it
expect the
back.
Bengals to slow down. You picked the worst team in the league last year.
And they just got better. Well, the Saints arguably just got worse. I
Oh,
don't trust the Saints this year. The Saints won't be doing anything.
oh, you're doing Southern accents and I can't. No. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous right here.
Well, you sound like Raymond Day cult. It's the
Whatever.
wrong team. Panthers winning. Saints are horrible. Like, please stop. Anthony wants us to stop.
Who's telling it? Oh, Anthony. Both these accents. Whatever. Anyways,
Anthony.
so we're torturing you. All right, just go with the Panthers. Explain a little bit.
Straight up, I'm pretty sure I flipped a coin this game. And it landed on the Panthers, so I'm just like, all right.
Anyways,
moving on.
We have all right, but Danny is also going to pick the Saints as well. What it is, yeah, he's going to pick the Saints this week. All right, moving on. All right, this is Bruce is watching this. This is going to be fun. Vikings and the Giants. What?
I mean,
I don't know if he is.
I see
I don't
Anthony
know.
here.
There's 2 viewers, so I'm not sure who the second viewer is.
Oh, that's me. I have it pulled up on the TV. So
so he's not watching this, but well, I mean, we have a Giants fan here anyway, so this is gonna be fun. Vikings and the Giants. The Vikings. Oh man, what an off season they had. They define curse. If you have a picture, a picture of curse in the dictionary, it's the
Anthony,
Minnesota Vikings.
Get out. You're done. Get out.
You know, the Minnesota Vikings, you know, expected to at least have JJ McCarthy at the bench and learn how to develop. He's gonna deal with some surgery first before anything can happen because JJ McCarthy is out for the year after playing a drive in the preseason, and you have Sam Darnold, who's Sam Darnold. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have the Giants with Daniel Jones. Yeah, Daniel Jones. Hopefully 2022 could happen again. Who knows? I mean, they brought in Malik Neighbors. They brought in hopefully to boost the receiver room. They drafted Theo Johnson because after Darren Waller decided to pursue a rap career, or at least a rap song. But
it wasn't good.
And then, you know, they did they did bring in the GOAT for the Seahawks, you know, who could lead a game-winning drive, and that is Drew Lock. They brought in Drew Lock to hopefully maybe compete with Daniel Jones and probably potential starter. Who knows? But you know, they brought in a very key piece this past season, and that is Brian Burns to boost up that defense, especially having Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence. I mean, they now signed Adoree Jackson to help boost that secondary over. But it's going to be a very interesting season for the New York Giants. But although they have their defense should be solid, I just don't know what to really think. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think Justin Jefferson is just a leap. I mean, hopefully Aaron Jones is the hopefully is the player that, you know, everyone wants to. Justin Jefferson is still going to be good. Hopefully Aaron Jones is the player that he was in Green Bay. We shall see. But I think the Minnesota Vikings are going to pull this win right here. But yeah, even the Minnesota Vikings. All right, Thomas, what you got?
I also have the Vikings winning this game. I mean, if you saw last week, I had Giants having the worst record in the league. So
I feel like you need to live up to the expectation.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just don't trust the Giants much. Again, the quarterback is Daniel Jones. Um, if they were smart, they would have started Drew Lock, and by that logic, they would have gone. They would have gone 20-0 and won the Super Bowl. But they're just stupid. Uh, and I believe Sam Darnold will be cooking this week. This is my bold prediction. Sam Darnold will cook. He will cook. He will
You're
throw
saying like
for
a Geno Smith
300
game?
yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 70% completion percentage, a QBR of 120.
Okay.
Bro is about to cook.
Okay. All right. Relax, man. Relax. All right. But I mean, the Minnesota Vikings, I feel like, again, I do think Sam Darnold's going to have a decent game this year because I don't know why. From like, I know this is from like 3 years ago during the 2021 season, but Sam Darnold, like, he kind of had that early season, looked like resurgence, but then he kind of went back to his same old self. And I feel like it's going to be kind of that similar area where he's going to have that good game and everyone's going to be like rooting for Sam Darnold. But I think the Vikings should win this game right there. But yeah, and then Danny, he is going with the New York Giants. He's actually going to believe in the Giants pulling the win at home this week. But yeah, um, what is
I don't know. He's over here
look at
talking
this
shit.
comment right
So
here. The Sam Darnold prediction might be worse than the Pats one. I mean, I could have probably agreed to that since if you said it's already might be the worst one already. All right, I agree to it.
we have
But
a viewer, another viewer.
yeah,
I am
I am
bored.
bored. He is smiley face.
Smiley face.
Nice, welcome. The Seahawks are hosting Tony. What? Okay.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're cooked.
Well, I don't know what that means. Seahawks are hosting Tony. I don't get it.
Kadarius Tony.
Wait, has he signed to a team or no?
No.
I don't think so. Anyways, all right. Now we're here for the 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern games, and we'll start with the introduction of Jim Harbaugh back in the NFL for the first time. What, since 2014? Right? It's been that long. But everyone's kind of hype on the Chargers. With the addition of Jim Harbaugh, and this game, I mean, Justin Herbert should be back. I mean, he didn't really play this past preseason because he was still main, trying to maintain his health and everything. But I mean, this is going to be an interesting season for the Chargers since they don't no longer have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams as wide receivers. They're kind of hoping Quentin Johnson kind of takes that step up in year 2. Hoping Landon McConkey is a good, solid wide receiver. Tight ends is still up in the air, but I mean, it is what it is. But their defense their defense is going to be interesting. I think they should be. I feel like I'm not saying they're going to be bad, but I mean, I feel like they should be middle of the road, especially still having Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, and so forth. So we'll shall see. And then you have the Raiders. They decided to stick with Antonio Pierce as their head coach. I think they learned from last time after the Rich Bisaccia thing. So, not picking him and decided to go with Josh McDaniels for some reason. But the Raiders, they finally have their QB1 in Gardner Minshew for right now. So, and hopefully he becomes the player that the Raiders fans are expecting him to be at least decent. They still have Devontae Adams. They still have Jacoby Myers. They did lose Josh Jacobs this past offseason to the Green Bay Packers. And pretty much this Raiders defense, they got at least a little bit better. They saw Max Crosby. Hopefully Tyree Wilson kind of builds up in year 2. And they brought in Christian Wilkins to bring in the interior D line. Hopefully Jack Jones becomes a decent corner along with Nate Hobbs. So it's going to be an interesting game right here. Very 50-50 game, I believe. But I am going with the LA Chargers at SoFi Stadium. I just think they're going to split the season. I feel like Jim Harbaugh will take the win week 1. All right, Thomas, who do you have?
Not the Chargers. I don't trust the Chargers
Ooh.
offense ever. And I don't, and I'm not a Jim Harbaugh guy. The Chargers defense should be all right, even though I think Joey Bosa is past his prime and he is getting too old. The Raiders just have a better, well-rounded team overall. I mean, yes, they lost Josh Jacobs in free agency, but uh, with Antonio Pierce, he should take the Raiders to heights, that they haven't seen in forever. Uh, and you're also forgetting that the last time these two people played, somebody got their ass kicked.
Hey, that was
60
with
to
Brandon Staley. Jim
That
Harbaugh
mean
is
that
probably going to be a little more, bringing that a little more discipline in that game.
oh, I don't give a shit.
But all right, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens next week, man. But anyways, well, for me, it's like my ideal Jim Harbaugh. I just think the Chargers are getting a little overhyped that they're thinking they're playoff contenders, even though I just think they're going to be like okay, but I don't think they're going to be like oh my god, we're going to go to the playoffs immediately year one with them. I just think they're still kind of in this retooling / rebuilding, but I do think the Chargers will at least get this week one win to kind of get that confidence boost with in the Jim Harbaugh era. And then, but Danny will also pick the LA Chargers here. Um,
Is
Chargers here
just
as well.
nobody
But
ever going to agree with me?
I mean, we did with the Bills. We did with the Bills and the Dolphins.
Oh
That's it.
God,
I
I
mean,
can't
like, but
wait for me to go undefeated this week, and you guys have like 3 wins.
you
Just
are
kidding.
not getting 16-0. You are not getting 16-0.
Oh, I will.
No, ain't happening. Anyways, let's move on. Oh, it's gonna be this game.
Yay!
Yay, our game. All
Yay!
right. All right, let's talk about this game in more depth than all the other games combined. Anyways, the Seahawks and the Broncos. Remember Thomas 2 years ago we faced them in week 1? Do you remember that game?
Oh yeah, we were supposed to lose week 1.
I
What
remember
happened?
that a lot of fans thought we were gonna get, our butts kicked. People
Yeah,
thought it was gonna be a 35 to 10 victory against with the Broncos. Uh,
nobody thought that Juno Smith would be cooking.
People thought, Nathaniel Hackett was an elite coach for whatever reason. Uh, you know, People just forgot one factor. Nathaniel Hackett does not know how to handle time. And not also the coaching thing too, but yeah, and he thought it was a bright idea, instead of relying on your $245 million quarterback to lead you to a closer drive. He just thought, you know what, let's just kick a 64-yard field goal at Lumen Field. Was going to be the best idea ever. But, it's all in the past. This time, the Broncos, they learned their lesson, and now they brought it. Now, Bo Nix. They're another. This is going to be what the third. One of the other rookies are going to start this week. Against the Seahawks. This game is going to be interesting. This game is probably going to be closer than what it is because, well, one. Again, the Broncos have a new quarterback. Their team is just in this weird area. I mean, they brought in Josh Reynolds from the Detroit Lions. They still have Cortland Sutton. They're kind of hoping Javonte Williams brings in that running game a little bit better. Their defense is so and so. I mean, they have Pat Surtain. I mean, they have some pieces, but the Seahawks, they are now in a new era as well. We have Pete Carroll is no longer coaching the Seattle Seahawks. We have Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator Mike McDonald.
My
Uh,
good God,
it's already it's spreading.
there was one time.
But I don't know. It spread it on Perna's stream. He mixed Brian Thomas with Brian Robinson. But anyways, Anyways, the Seahawks, new era with Mike McDonald, defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. Hopefully, he kind of revives this defense, kind of probably resort going back to the roots of the Legion of Boom. But we drafted Byron Murphy this past season in the first round to boost up that D line after our run defense was just abysmal. Even in adding Leonard Williams, it wasn't enough. Our secondary should get better with Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, um, uh, Trey Brown, and our safeties with Kobe Bryant, Rashawn Jenkins, Julian Love. This is going to be an interesting year. Our linebackers are going to be in that so and so. Uchenna Nwosu is going to be out for this game. I was hoping he would be healthy, but he got injured during preseason, so we're gonna have a game without him. I am going to pick the Seattle Seahawks to win this game right here. The Bo Leavers are gonna kind of have this oh no moment here, but at the end of the day, it's just week one. Denver Broncos fans. Hopefully, Bo Nix becomes that little bit better throughout the season. But yeah, all right, Thomas. Who I believe I know you're having, but just say it anyway.
The Seahawks are going to win this game.
All
Uh,
right.
kind of like what you were saying with the defense, the fact they got better. You also the safeties kind of massive step up from last season. Last season we had arguably one of the best safeties in Seahawks in my most recent Seahawks memory, Quandre Diggs. And then we had a flat out terrorist on the team. Like the terrorist is gone. The Batman will never hurt me anymore. I'm free. I'm
I mean,
free.
we'll talk about another bad man in a moment in a few games, but
One
yeah.
game actually.
Well, when we get there, I'm saying when we get there.
Yeah. But
But
the Seahawks are gonna win this game. Normally I'm like high this week, but like I'm sober right now. I promise, I'm fine.
yeah. All right. And with that, Logan is also going to pick the Seahawks. He's probably going to say something about, probably the Seahawks are going to have another heart attack game or something like that. But at the end of the day, he is going to pick the Seahawks. So it is what it is. All right, time for the Tom Brady game. This is going to be Tom Brady's first official NFL game being announced, and that'll be the Cowboys against the Browns week one. This one's going to be a something of a game here because you have the Cowboys with their offense is still a bit better. They did extend CeeDee Lamb just recently. Their wide receivers are at least still fine for the most part. Dak is still gonna be Dak, and running back room is iffy. They brought basically it's essentially you have Rico Daniel, Deuce Vaughn. They brought back Zeke and they brought in Dalvin Cook. Yeah, running back room is still questionable, left to be desired. But I mean, overall their offense and their defense, although it's still it should be fine, but it's now led by Mike Zimmer, which I have probably questions about. I'm still kind of iffy on. But anyways, I am going to take the. But you have the Cleveland Browns. They have. Their defense is elite. Their defense is going to be still top tier, but their offense, they have pieces to go around, but it's now basically the man under center that has the most question marks going in. Especially, he's going to get paid $27 million this season, but it's still like you better kind of turn back to Houston form, because if Deshaun Watson in Houston form, if this was Houston form Deshaun Watson, I would have taken the Browns. But since we don't know what is going on with Deshaun Watson, I am probably going to take the Cowboys for this win. Thomas, who do you got?
I will also agree with you on taking the Cowboys with this victory. I don't trust Deshaun Watson at all. I never will. Or again, as much as I don't like the Cowboys, and I do think that they will fall off this season.
Oh,
Uh, I want their team. I want this team to give their fans just a tiny bit of hope, just a small amount of hope, enough to where they say this is their year because they beat a playoff team last season, and then after that, I want them to fall.
all right. But and then Logan will also we got some breaking news. 49ers Trent Williams agreed to a restructure of a 3-year 82.666 million deal. So and Karen Hayward also got extended not that long ago as well. Um Sorry to interrupt, but just to kind of got some news that I just saw right now. And it's going to be for a 3-year, $45 million extension for Cameron Hayward. So good for him. Um, Hopefully, he should be fine. Oh, we got one more news. Falcons signed Nathan Peterman.
Ah,
Oh
the
wow,
legend. He's back.
the legend is
He's
back.
back.
Oh no. Okay, I see what Anthony was talking about. We hosted Kadarius Toney. The Seahawks hosted Kadarius Toney.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Hopefully, it's just just to be a wide receivers coach.
No,
That's it.
because because he'll teach them how to drop balls.
You know what? Good point. Good point. Uh, Anyways, but yes, Logan will also choose the Dallas Cowboys as well. So we have another guaranteed. We have another guaranteed pick 'em for this one, or two back to back. We have two back to back guaranteed picks. Let's go.
Let's keep the streak alive.
Next one, Commanders Buccaneers. Buccaneers, who was expected to be a bottom tier team in 2023, are now back to being this playoff contending team. Uh, Back to this playoff contending team, and hopefully they kind of build it up. Baker Mayfield's kind of been known to have this heckle, Mr. Heckle and Dr. High, or I don't know what's the title thing, but you get my point.
Yeah.
And they're kind of hoping Baker Mayfield is the quarterback they did. Did they extend him to a 3-year, I believe, $100 million deal? I could be wrong, but he did take that hometown discount. And everyone's excited for the Buccaneers. They should be an interesting team. Hopefully, Baker Mayfield can kind of take that little step up. Hopefully, at least stay as he was from last season. Um, Hopefully, their new OC does a good job for them, and their defense is still solid. Meanwhile, the Commanders, they're coming up from a 4-13 season after the Ron Rivera era is now over. We now have Dan Quinn, who brought in a handful amount of veterans, and then of course the coup de grace, the third rookie quarterback starting this week is Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. Hopefully, he is the guy going forward. People are still kind of nervous about it because they're kind of nervous because especially with RG3, so hopefully he does not become RG3 2.0. But this team is gonna be an interesting team. I think this game is gonna be fun a little bit. Again, another close matchup than what people are expecting, but I am still taking the Buccaneers at home. All right, Thomas, who do you have?
I will also be taking the Buccaneers at home for this week. I do like the Commanders. I do like what they're doing. I love Jaden Daniels, and I want them to succeed, when I do have them succeeding. But I believe with the new head coach, rookie quarterback, there's going to be some struggles heading into a game where a team is pretty well round balanced. Can the Commanders pull an upset? They can, but I feel like the Buccaneers are, again, they're too balanced at the moment, and it'll take a lot for them to fall to a brand new team, basically.
All right. And of course, third game in a row, Logan will take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Arg.
Arg. All right. And now, finally, we're back at the night games once again. Sunday Night Football, Rams versus Lions. Matthew Stafford coming back again to Ford Field to face against his former team. They met last time, and this was not a Matthew Stafford homecoming game. This was a Jared Goff revenge game from last time they met each other. Jared Goff put his body on the line and pretty much told LA to go screw themselves. But
Family
this
friendly.
game is what
What?
friendly. Anyways, but anyways, this game is going to be hyped. The Lions, one of their struggles was their defense last year, especially in the secondary. They kind of got burned throughout these games, and the Lions almost close to winning the NFC Championship game as well, and going to the Super Bowl for the first time in their franchise history. And now the Lions, they gotten better. They brought in again, they drafted Terry Arnold. They brought in Carlton Davis to boost up the secondary. They brought in DJ Reader to boost that defensive line. So this defense should get stronger. This offense is going to get better and better. This everyone is hyped for the Lions and the Rams. The Rams are a weird team to gauge because either people are expecting them to either win the division or like they're going to be like in this middle of the road team. It's kind of hard for me because I mean, yeah, they're hoping Stafford kind of like gets back into being the Stafford form, especially having Puka Nakua. You have Cooper Cup. It's I mean this team I get why, but there's one key piece in that team that is gone. We know this bad man is gone, and that is Aaron Donald. We are free. We are free from Aaron Donald.
We're free.
We're free. But they did draft Jared Verse into this draft, and people are kind of high on Jared first going to this season as a defensive end, and I get why, but hopefully as Seahawks fans, we don't want to see Jared first succeed in LA. Don't want an Aaron Donald 2.0 situation here. That's the worst case scenario for us, but yeah, but for overall, I am going to take the Lions. I think Jared Goff still, even though he did win that wild card game, he's still like, I'm still going to take you down. He's still going to take Sean McVay down. All right, Thomas, who you got?
I have the Lions getting this victory.
Let's go.
Yeah, again, I know, surprising. We're on the same team for once. Um,
For the fourth time in a row.
I know, this is weird. I just believe that the Lions are a better, well-rounded team. I mean, fresh off of the NFC title game, and again, they only just got better. Jared Goff getting that massive contract extension. He
Amon
is
Ra,
making
Penei Sewell as well.
Yeah, like this team is set for the next 3 to 4 years. Zero questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
If they lose this game, probably panic mode because I'm pretty sure the streets of Detroit will be rioting.
Unless it's just gonna be like, all right, Jared Goff gets one, Stafford gets one at Detroit. So this is gonna be an interesting game here. But Stafford's family is not gonna be at the game though.
Eminem will.
Oh yeah.
But they played each other in what 20 was it 22 or no, it was
2021.
21 when the trade happened. What was that in LA or Detroit?
It was at LA. It was at LA.
So I mean, currently they are split 1-1. So
yeah, at least in
rubber
terms of
match
since the trade, of course.
since the trade.
Yeah. So this one's going to be a fun game here still. Oh, yeah. And, they brought in a very key piece. I forgot to mention UFL legend Jake Bates. Lock it in, everybody. Jake Bates, probably going to be a Pro Bowler unless it's going to be Brandon Aubrey. But Jake Bates, remember that name. I'm going to ride the Jake Bates train this season as a UFL guy. So if everyone's wondering who is Jake Bates, kicker for the Lions now, ready to destroy anyone from 40, 50, or 60 yards. All right? But anyways, it wasn't luck. That was pure Jake Bates.
He got lucky in that one kick.
I don't care. Anyways, but yes, fourth time in a row, we are guaranteed the Lions are going to win this game.
We potentially have cursed all of these teams.
We don't want to talk about it. We don't need to mention.
The curse
But
is real.
we're not talking about curses because this is our first time ever on this podcast. So this is we don't know what's the curses are yet. Anyways, we'll see what our record are in guaranteed picks. We'll see what's our record after this week in terms of everyone getting like the same pick. But anyways, our final game of the week, Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers going against the San Francisco 49ers, the Niners, the Super Bowl runner-up. Leonard Floyd could do the most funniest thing on Monday Night Football in just 4 snaps.
If that happens again, the Jets have angered
Our curse.
somebody.
They have done something, or Joe Namath did something for that Super Bowl. But the Jets, they're hoping after, what they thought was going to be the most hopeful season of their lives since that Super Bowl run. They're hoping it's going to happen again. Hopefully their quarterback and Aaron Rodgers does not get injured in one drive and they don't have to bring in a backup quarterback this time. Meanwhile, the 49ers once again losing in one of the biggest games of their franchise to the Kansas City Chiefs again. And they're now on this revenge tour. They're trying to hoping Brock Purdy is still solid. They have at least 2 more seasons before they have to pay him the big bucks. They finally, after all that, Brandon Ayuk finally extended. Us Seahawks fans were kind of hoping he would have gone to the Steelers or Commanders or Patriots or whatever. But they finally did it. 4 years, $120 million. Finally, the drama is over. And like I said, Trent Williams got his contract extended or restructured. So that situation is finally done. So the Niners offseason full of drama, but finally got everything settled. And hopefully now we could finally just watch football for them. But they are now going on a revenge tour, but that's why, unfortunately, I am going to go with the San Francisco 49ers to win this game. All right, Thomas, who do you got?
I will also have the Niners winning this game.
Oh, okay.
I don't,
So
I don't want them to win, but I don't believe in the Jets this season. I don't believe in Aaron Rodgers. I don't think the Jets are all hyped up as they are. Now, if they had Zach Wilson on their roster, it's a different story, and they'll win the Super Bowl. But they don't, so they're gonna lose this game because if Roger gets injured, I don't even know who their backup is to save the Jets.
Tyrod Taylor.
If they were smart, they would have kept Adrian Martinez, but they're stupid.
Martinez is on the practice squad.
Put
So
him
yeah.
in, coach.
I think they also drafted who was the quarterback for Florida State last season? Jordan Travis. Yeah, they drafted Jordan Travis in draft, but I think he's still injured if I recall. But I could be wrong. But yeah, but you're also picking the 49ers?
Yes.
All right, and Logan's final pick. This is a shocker, but I am kind of shocked when he sent me the photo. I was just like, wow, I'm surprised he actually did it, even for a Dolphins fan, and that's why, I'm shocked. Unfortunately, everyone, get ready to witness this. He's going to pick the 49ers this week. But anyways, we finally at least ended with 5 guaranteed picks in a row. So, again, 6 picks.
All those teams are cursed.
We don't know yet. 6 games we got to deal with. We got the Bills and the Cardinals, and then Seahawks, the Cowboys, the Buccaneers, Lions, 49ers. Watch out, everybody.
If y'all lose, we're sorry, and we should just...
We won't pick them again. We won't never pick them again.
No.
Or at least one of us have to pick like the opposing team so at least there's some shot of winning. But this game, but here we are. This is all our picks. This week. This is here we go. This is our picks this week, everybody. To recap. Oh, there's my name. All right, to recap, Danny and I are picking the Chiefs. Thomas is picking the Ravens. Uh, Logan and I are picking the Eagles. Thomas is picking the Packers. Pretty much, again, Logan and I are pretty much picking pretty much the same team all the way up until the Patriots. And while Thomas is picking at least the Bills, the Titans, and an upset, and he's picking the Bengals, I chose the Patriots. I'm just telling you, call me Nostradamus when I win.
No, you're smoking.
Uh,
You're high.
I'm, 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 I am, dude, just trust me, gut feeling.
No, no.
I'm gonna say Jacoby is gonna do something. I know Danny has some beef with Jacoby Brissett, but I don't. But I chose the Colts. The other two picked the Dolphins. We all chose the Dolphins. Oh yeah, that's our other guarantee. So 7 games. Oh, Danny's team is Oh wow. Okay. All right, and then Logan and I chose the Saints. You and I chose the Vikings, while Logan chose the Giants. And then Logan and I chose the Chargers, and you chose the Raiders. And then pretty much and then we pretty much guaranteed 5 games in a row that they're all gonna win. And I am nervous. I am nervous beyond this point. But anyways, if you guys listen to this is um, this has been our week 1 predictions. Anything concluding final, or I guess anyone wants to say anyone's thoughts so far?
Don't do
No.
drugs. If you don't do drugs,
Don't become
if
SRG.
yeah, don't do drugs. Don't be doing South accents like.
Oh, come
I thought
on.
you're just crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyways, this is this is our week 1 picks. Hopefully Logan will try to come here next week, but he had some things to do. He had some things to settle, but overall, this has been our week 1 picks. I think this week we are gonna go to debut more podcast with our first ever live stream reaction of the opening kickoff game on Thursday Night Football here on the arena with Thomas. Hopefully Logan shows up. We'll shall see what his schedule says like for this game, but this game is going to be fun. We are going to watch Chiefs versus Ravens, and we'll see who goes 0-1 or 1-0 in the pick'ems. But this is going to be a fun week. This is going to be a fun season. And everybody, stay safe out there. Good luck. Have a good season. Have a good week. And we'll see you on Thursday. And any final thoughts, Thomas?
No, just
No.
stay safe. Don't do drugs. See you all on Thursday for a kickoff.
See you on Thursday, and let's end the stream.